This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 4th day of July in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Days after the 16-year-old schoolgirl who filed a rape complaint against Minister of Local Government Nandlal opted to no longer proceed with the matter, the Director of Public Prosecutions has advised the police that in the absence of the victim's complaint, there is no legal provision for the police to continue with the case. The teenager was placed in the protective custody of the Child Care and Protection Agency just over 2 weeks ago, when she first filed a complaint about allegedly being raped and sexually assaulted by the minister at his home back in December. It took the police 1 week to complete its investigations, but after it submitted its file to the DPP for further advice, it took the DPP more than 5 days to respond to that submission. The DPP eventually sent the file back to the police late last week, seeking further investigations. It was during that period for further investigations that the teenager decided to no longer proceed with the matter, paving the way for her to be released from protective custody and allowed back into the care of her family. Several interest groups accused the police and the office of the DPP of dragging out the matter, resulting in the young child being pressured to face additional questions about her alleged ordeal. In its statement this afternoon, the police said the DPP disclosed that consideration was given to the fact that the complainant gave a further statement to investigators and that she wishes to withdraw her complaint against the government minister, and that her decision was not influenced by anyone, and that same was in her best interest. The DPP told the police that her advice was based on the fact that a virtual complainant's statement was taken by a forensic interviewer in the presence of a parent, a child care officer, and the police officer, and that such statement was free and voluntary. The Minister of Local Government had proceeded on administrative leave to pave the way for the investigations into the rape allegations. The government remains on the fire for not completely removing him from office. With the matter no longer proceeding against the minister, the stage may now be set for his return to work, overlooking the local government ministry. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say, but now that it's here, it will change life forever, and it is here to stay. The future is now, transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Oh my lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company,
insurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 2260-415-7. Comfortable parking available.
1 year after Eccles resident Andrew Morgan was arrested when Kanu found more than 7 pounds of cocaine at his home, he has been found guilty on the drug trafficking charges. The guilty verdict was handed down today by Magistrate Sunil Skars. However, sentencing will take place after a probation report is received by the court. During the trial, the Kanu ranks who carried out the search and found the drugs offered testimony against Morgan. Andrew Morgan is the brother of former race car driver Peter Morgan, who was convicted of drug trafficking in the U.S. in 2010. He was later deported to Guyana after serving his time. Andrew Morgan has long been on the radar of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit and the International Drug Enforcement Agencies as a suspected drug trafficker from Guyana. Turning our attention now to the recently concluded local government elections. Less than 35% of the more than 540,000 registered voters went to the polls during the last local government elections, resulting in the country experiencing its lowest voter turnout rate this year of the last 3 local elections. The Guyana Elections Commission has disclosed that only 188,856 persons, or 34.9% of the registered voters, showed up at the polls to cast their ballots at the local elections from a list of more than 540,000. The figures represent a further decline in the voter turnout rate when compared to 2018 and 2016. In 2018, 36.3% of the 573,923 electors went to the polls, while in 2016, 47.1% of the registered voters participated in the elections. Back then, 239,070 voters went to the polls from a list of 507,584. This year, the Region 6 local authority area of Platanka recorded the highest turnout rate with 308 votes casting their ballots. There were 528 eligible voters in that area, resulting in the turnout rate being 58.3%. Good Success, Caledonia, a local authority area in Region 4, registered the lowest turnout rate. According to the Elections Commission, 8,713 persons were registered to vote, but just over 1,800 turned up at the polls. The voter turnout at the various municipalities was also low. In the nation's capital of Georgetown, some 122,892 persons were registered to vote, but only 34,527 cast their ballots. According to the Elections Commission, the figures represent a turnout rate of 28.1% in the nation's capital city. Meanwhile, in the municipality of Mabaruma, 51.5% of the eligible voters went to the polls. In Anna Regina, 37.2% went to cast their ballots. In the municipalities of New Amsterdam, Rose Hall, Caribbean, Bartica, Madia, and Linden, the turnout rate was over 40%. The Elections Commission explained that the turnout is based on valid votes cast for each approved list of candidates at a proportional representation level in the elections, in addition to the total number of rejected ballots recorded. The Caribbean community CARICOM is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and those satisfied with the progress made by the community over the last 50 years, the CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett believes the time is now to confront the many challenges. The Secretary General made the comments while addressing the opening of the 45th regular meeting of CARICOM heads of government on Monday evening. Dr. Barnett raised the issue of CARICOM's high food import bill, which is averaging around $5 billion annually. CARICOM has set a target to reduce that bill by 25% by the year 2025. Guyana has been leading in those efforts.
The thrust to reduce our food import bill by 25% by 2025 is gathering momentum. The urgency of advancing our digital agenda is first-line priority, and our regional digital development strategy is also therefore gathering momentum.
Dr. Barnett also said CARICOM also needs to tackle the continuing political and social instability in Haiti. She said the violence and political troubles in the sister CARICOM state have caused a headache for the community, but was quick to point out that the community is in another push to bring stability to the country. It was explained that a task team has been established within CARICOM with the objective of bringing an end to the issues in Haiti. Additionally, the Secretary General said the next 50 years of CARICOM must be about young people, noting that governments in the region have been pushing areas of technology and entrepreneurship among young people.
Further, a significant part of our agro-food agenda is encouraging young people into the sector, utilizing the new tools of IT-enabled protected agriculture to increase productivity and build sustainable livelihoods.
According to the CARICOM Secretary General, despite global challenges and other issues such as climate change, the achievements of the past 5 decades are proof that vision and a concerted action are critical to achieving sustainable prosperity and security for the region.
Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
So going on, champ. I passed here last week and this shop lock up tight.
Why? We come down with the flow, so we have to take a couple of days.
I can't deal with them kind of setbacks, Bano. I just get a headache when you see I can't make me little bread.
I know them ways, champ. But thank God for NIS.
NIS? What you got to do now with NIS?
I mean, what I got to do with NIS? I registered as self-employed and I make monthly contributions to NIS. So you see, for them days I lose, NIS pay me back for most of them days.
What? That's good. You know, I always used to believe that it's only people in big offices and so they pay NIS.
Nah, man. NIS for any working person between the ages of 16 to 60. And as self-employed, you get all the benefit as an employee, except for industrial benefits.
So what I do for set up this thing?
All I gotta do is visit NIS on breakdown, or if you're living out of town, you visit any NIS closest to your location. And once you register and your registration complete, you can start making NIS contributions.
Alright, so what I walk with and like how much money I got to pay a month?
I ain't gotta walk with no big money. All I gotta walk with is your birth certificate and any farm ID. And when you reach down there, ask for the compliance department.
Good. Thanks for the information, bro. As soon as I left here, I went straight to the NIS office.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Now let's tell you that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, has sounded the alarm over the many challenges facing regional governments and the countries of the region themselves.
Never before have small states faced the broad and deep range of challenges that we face now. From climate change, pandemic, gun crimes and violence, transnational migration issues, to insecurity with food supplies, our region has been buffeted by many systemic storms. Throughout all of this, the majority of the people of our region have proven themselves to be resilient, resourceful, determined, and dignified.
Many countries in the region have found themselves facing a slow recovery from the years of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister pointed out that the Caribbean Development Bank, the Caribbean Development Fund, CARICOM, Crime and Security Agency, as well as the Caribbean Court of Justice are some of the symbols of hope in the region. He said even though there are doubts about the relevance of CARICOM among member states, past experience has shown that countries in the region are stronger together through CARICOM. The Trinidadian Prime Minister said the ongoing meeting must be one of introspection for regional leaders, noting that CARICOM has been going in the right direction, but time has come for it to examine what other ways it could assist to realize the dreams and aspirations of the people of the region.
Whilst we recognize that there's a whole lot more to be attained, at this juncture, we can proudly say that we have been going in the right direction. And with renewed confidence and vigor, we can indicate our intention to continue by joining the famous Jamaican radio announcer, Don Toppin, whose clarion call was always, "Today the Caribbean, tomorrow the world."
Rowley said the region has learned a valuable lesson during the COVID-19 pandemic, and even now he said the region is affected by trade restrictions, and even more worrisome, the region is now being escorted out of the world's financial system through de-risking and loss of correspondent banking. CARICOM, though faced with many challenges, has stood the test of time and has remained committed to the ideals of its founding charter to promote economic integration, foreign policy, and human and social development. That's according to President Finale in his address to mark the 50th anniversary of CARICOM. The president said over the past 5 years, integration movements have come and gone. Others have suffered and stagnated. New regional groupings have emerged. But he noted that for CARICOM, it has not only remained together, but it has been enlarged and its membership expanded. During the period, he said CARICOM has remained steadfast and committed to the ideals of its founding fathers. The Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Gutierrez, plans to continue his push for a robust international security force in Haiti. He made his position known as he addressed the 45th meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM in Trinidad and Tobago. Arriving in the Twin Island Republic from Haiti, the UN Secretary General said the situation in Haiti is appalling, with its humanitarian needs constantly soaring at a time when there is no political solution to the country. Mr. Gutierrez said he's optimistic, though, that things will get better, promising to do more to help the people of Haiti.
And I will continue to push for a robust international security force authorized by the Security Council to be able to help the Haitian National Police to defeat and dismantle the gangs. And I reiterate my call to all partners to increase support for the National Police in the form of financing, training and equipment.
And urging greater support for the Haitian people, the UN Secretary General noted that the UN's humanitarian appeal is only funded at 23%. CARICOM leaders, he said, continue to play a leading role in offering support to the people of Haiti. However, he warned that there can be no lasting security without strengthened democratic institutions.
You have advanced cooperation on every front, from economic and social development, to fighting illegal drugs and arms trafficking, to combating non-communicable diseases, to advance gender equality. And of course, you have championed climate action and focused attention on the plight of small island developing states.
The UN Secretary General said the region's debt burdens have grown heavier with access to global capital markets, worsening dramatically. Mr. Gutierrez said to further compound that situation, climate emergency continues to escalate, threatening the very existence of small island and low-lying coastal states. To cushion the impact, the UN Secretary General said the SDG stimulus for investments in sustainable development and climate action should be offered, in addition to the establishment of an enhanced and effective debt relief mechanism. New financial tools, he said, such as swaps that convert debts into investments in climate adapters, should also be utilized.
An increase in the capital base of multilateral development banks and a change in their business model with a new approach to risk to be able to leverage more private finance at reasonable cost in support of developing countries. The rechanneling of special drawing rights and the shift in subsidies away from fossil fuels and unsustainable agriculture and food systems into sustainable development. And redressing a core injustice facing middle-income countries. The continued lack of access to concessional financing because of allocation metrics that ignore vulnerabilities to shocks such as financial crises or climate-related disasters.
The UN Secretary General said he fully supports the community's call for a multidimensional vulnerability index. Attorney General Adel Nandlal has won a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against his predecessor, Basil Williams, after the High Court found that Williams failed to provide evidence to support his claims that the Attorney General had stolen the Commonwealth law reports during his previous tenure as Attorney General under the Donald Ramotar administration. The former Attorney General, Basil Williams, has been ordered by the High Court to pay Minister Nandlal damages in the sum of $10 million, in addition to interest at a rate of 6% per annum from the 4th of April until the 29th of June, and 4% per annum thereafter, until fully paid. Costs were also awarded in a sum of $1.6 million to the Attorney General against Williams, and that should be paid by the 18th of August of this year. In March of 2019, the then Attorney General accused Nandlal of stealing the Commonwealth law reports and had promised that legal charges would be brought against him. But High Court Judge Justice Priya Sunirayan Bihari, in delivering the ruling, said that in the absence of supporting evidence, the claims by Mr. Williams, which were captured in a video recording, amounted to defamation. The judge said Williams, in stating that the Minister Nandlal had stolen the law reports, was clearly indicating to the public that the claimant is dishonest, is a thief, and committed a criminal offense of larceny.
Sorry.
Jack?
Hey.
Boys, where you going with all that speed?
Yeah, today's the 15th. My NIS contributions are due, and I ain't even get the forms as yet.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not aware that all self-employed persons can now make their NIS contributions using the MMG app from the comforts of their homes and offices?
Really? You know, I just pay my bills using MMG, you know?
Yes, Jack. And the thing's simple. All you have to do is open the app, select Pay Bills, Government Services, NIS, and Pay. They will prompt you to enter your NIS number, the month you're paying for, and the amount.
So I don't need to submit any form?
No. The only time you submit in a form is when you're making a claim.
Wait. I could make a claim too?
Oh, no, man. You didn't know that? Yes. All self-employed persons are entitled to all benefits from NIS. Well, except for the industrial benefits. And here's the good part. All of their forms, you can download them from the NIS website.
Well, girl, I'm really glad I bumped into you.
Anyhow, make sure you pay your bills later.
Later? I gotta sit down right here and pay my contributions first.
Take care.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true, or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
Did you know that Gassi's Jet A1 fuel is a type of aviation fuel specially formulated for turbine engines? Jet A1 fuel is safer to handle and transport than any other fuel types due to its high flash point and low volatility. it also boasts a high energy content, enhancing aircraft performance and efficiency. So whether traveling for business or pleasure, choose Guyana's Jet A1 fuel for a safe, reliable, and efficient flight.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall. In the region, more than 100,000 Havana residents are without water as the heat of the Caribbean summer sets in, raising tensions on the streets of Cuba's capital as the crisis-racked government scrambles to find a solution. The shortages linked to the island's aging infrastructure are affecting between 100,000 and 200,000 citizens of Havana, or as much as 10% of the city's population, state-run media reported late last week. The water shortages are caused by a variety of factors according to local officials, including faulty motorized pump stations, leaky pipes, and climate change-induced drought. It is the latest in a long list of troubles complicating daily life, said Anina Batista, a 37-year-old resident of Havana. The communist-run country is going through one of its worst economic crises in decades, battered by tough U.S. sanctions, a pandemic hangover, and struggling tourism. Food, medicine, and fuel are in short supply, and soaring inflation has put what little is available out of reach for many. International election observers will return to Guatemala to monitor a court order review of ballots from the nationwide vote late last month, the Organization of American States said on Monday, as tension over the review's fairness mounted. The Washington-based OAS took the unusual step of swiftly returning its observer mission back to Guatemala after its constitutional court called for a review of the election's first round, following complaints from the party of the first-place finisher Sandra Torres and allied parties. Torres challenged the results, alleging votes were manipulated, while surprise second-place finisher Bernardo Arevalo denounced the vote review request as lacking legal merit. Torres and Arevalo are set to face off in an August 20 runoff, even as the ballot review has raised fresh doubts about the process. And finally tonight, international news. UN agencies have expressed alarm at the scale of Israel's military operation in Jenin, refugee camp in the occupied West Bank, as it continued for a second day. 11 Palestinians have been killed since hundreds of Israeli troops backed by drones entered the camp on Monday. The agencies say infrastructure is being damaged and medics have been stopped from reaching all of the injured. Palestinian militant groups meanwhile said a car ramming and stabbing attack in Israel was a response to the raid. Israeli authorities said 7 people were injured on a busy shopping street in Tel Aviv and that the attacker was a Palestinian man from the West Bank.
And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.